Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately and I'm so glad that you found the channel, and more importantly, I'm glad that you found a community of really supportive women as we are going through this aging process. I love sharing with you guys not only new makeup products and makeup reviews, but videos like the one I'm going to share with you today, and that is on how to adjust our makeup for our changing face. What I mean by that is if you're like me and you've experienced changes in your skin type, your skin texture, the way your skin looks overall, and you're trying to adjust your makeup to meet the needs of your new challenging skin, then I am here to help. I'm 54 and I am continuing to get lines underneath my eyes, and I really do like to have a nice look to my makeup, especially concealer. But concealer can be one of those products that if you don't do it correctly, it can actually make your under eye area look worse. I have a technique today I want to share with you that is proven because it's the one that I use for my under eye area, which is quite wrinkly. So if you are ready to learn how to improve the look of your concealer under your under eyes where you have perhaps more wrinkles, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you not only how I do it, but the products that I use as well, and they're all drugstore except for my powder. So if you're ready to fill in your under eye area with ease and have it look as best as it possibly can, then stick around because I'm going to get right to it. All right, so let's do these eyes because why is it that when I, all right, I don't have my matching clips today, so we're gonna, do I really not have, do I leave one in my hair? No. All right, well, sorry guys, we're not gonna have, oh, I have this one. This will look pretty. It'll look prettier than mismatched clips. It's almost as if I meant to do that. Ta-da! Okay, the first thing I want to do to get my under eye area looking as flawless yet understanding that I have wrinkles is to apply a little bit of moisturizer. Now normally I would have applied this while I was doing the rest of my makeup and let it absorb, but since we're going to do this in real time and I want you guys to see exactly what I do from start to finish, I'm going to do it and then we'll just visit and chit chat. I'm using the L'Oreal Collagen Filler. This sells for about $9 on Amazon. I talk about this one a lot because I like how moisturizing and hydrating it is without feeling super thick. It is a thicker formula, but it doesn't go on thick. I feel like for as thick as it is, it hydrates and melts into the skin, really providing a hydrated base for my concealer to absorb or sit onto. And applying that moisturizer before your makeup is such an important part of this process. If you like to wear those eye patches and maybe you don't like the feeling of a moisturizer, but you like a hydration coming from serum, then you can apply those eye patches, do the rest of your makeup. I just find that when I take off those eye patches and I've done the rest of my makeup, then there's just some lines there. You can also apply eye patches, brush your teeth, do your other, your hair, whatever, take them off, and then apply the moisturizer while you do the rest of your makeup. However you want to do it, just understanding that hydrating the under eye area is a really crucial, not to be skipped step in applying a concealer to your eyes that is as crease proof as possible, depending on how your creases are or how deep they are. There's no way to get creaseless under eye area if you already have creases. I don't care which makeup artist of great fame tells you that, and I've tried many of them and I have yet to have a makeup product or multiple products layered in any type of ways to make the under eye area look less wrinkly. What I can tell you is this process helps it look the best it can given the wrinkles that are already there. So I hope that clarifies it for those of you that are newer to makeup and you hear YouTube beauty bloggers or makeup artists tell you that you can have flawless, creaseless under eye area. It's just not true if you already have creases, aka wrinkles. Not without getting lasers and fillers and all kinds of a variety of treatments, which, believe me, if I thought that they worked, I would be standing in line to try them myself. All right, one of the other things I wanted to share with you guys, and I kept the box because I'm a visual person and I need to see things in a box. While we're letting this moisturizer penetrate into my crepey under eye area. I did a TikTok and an Instagram reel on a beauty news update. If you're not following me on Instagram and or TikTok and you like quick updates on beauty news, how beauty companies are performing financially, which companies are acquiring which companies, which large beauty conglomerate owns, you know, different beauty companies, what are new products launching, all that stuff in 1 minute or less. I do beauty news on Instagram and TikTok. Anyway, one of the ones that I did a couple weeks ago was that rosemary oil, which was one of the top 2 best hair care selling products on Amazon all year up until September. Rosemary oil is no longer on the top 10 list for top hair care products sold on Amazon. Sounds very confusing. It's very easy. But what has gone viral, and I think it's in place of, is Botana oil. Doesn't necessarily have to be this one. I just have the box. This is what it looks like. Any Botana oil. So I thought, well, I love trying new things on my hair. I have long hair. It does get dyed. It does get light highlighted. I do use heated styling products, so my hair always needs an upper hand if I can find one. So I ordered this one on Amazon. It's just Botana oil. And the way I applied it is one Saturday morning, I just woke up and I knew I was gonna shower a couple hours later. So I just put goops of this in my hands and rubbed it. I didn't put so much on the root of my hair because the root of my hair doesn't really get a ton of damage as much as the rest of it does. And I just applied it all through my hair, combed it through with my fingers, and then I put my hair in a banana clip and just let it do its thing. You guys, it doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't smell great. It has a unique smell, I have to say. But when I went to wash this out, I had to wash my hair twice to get it all out, which I'm totally fine with. I use Kerastase, so it's a lighter shampoo. I love this. I absolutely love the way my hair looked the day I did it, and I've loved the way it's looked since. I've used this twice, and I feel like my hair looks healthier. Now I will go to my stylist tomorrow actually and get a root touch-up, so I'm curious to see if he feels my hair and says anything or notices anything different. But I have noticed that it looks less frizzy, and I've noticed that when I do go to round brush it or use a flat iron, it doesn't take a few times with the heat to get it to look smooth and shiny. It really only takes one time, which I love that because that means it's less damage every time. I'm not needing to go back and put the flat iron over it multiple times. So I was curious as to if this was just a viral thing or if there was some legitimacy as to why it was becoming so popular. And I really have enjoyed this. It comes from the American palm tree. I did a little bit of research on it to understand what is Botana oil. And it comes from inside of the nut of the American palm tree. So I wanted to share that with you guys because what it's done for my hair is made it feel more healthy and less frizzy. And those are big improvements in my opinion. All right, so now that we have this moisturizer penetrating deep into my skin, I mean, who am I kidding? My skin there is not even deep. It's not thick, it's very thin, it's frail, it's bitter, it's all the things that I don't love about my skin getting older. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply a setting spray onto a brush and continue to moisten this area. I'm using the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray by e.l.f. This does not contain alcohol. I would highly encourage you to find a setting spray that does not contain alcohol. The Makeup Forever one does not contain alcohol, and this one does it. This one has oil and water, which is why I need to shake it up, and I like that combination. Then you're going to apply that brush right on top of the area where you are going to apply some concealer. And you notice you really want to get that brush moist and apply that setting spray on both sides and really just dampen that space. Now you might have seen part of this technique from Wayne Goss. He did a video, it's probably been 6 months ago, about his new process of how he does under eye areas. I did a video very similar to that using his technique and it worked. And I did a video using the Wayne Goss process and it did work. I just felt like it was too many steps and I felt like because my eyes are more mature, it looked a little bit more crepey than I would want it to. So I have been playing like a mad scientist trying to figure this out. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. All right, so now that we have that area nice and damp, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Hydro Camo Concealer. You don't want to use a lot of concealer. That's been one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn as my under eye area is changing is to absolutely change the formula to a more thin concealer and or use less of it. So those two things go hand in hand. So you're gonna wanna just check and see how thick is the concealer that you're using, and are you still using the same amount of concealer that you used when your under eye area was perhaps less wrinkly? And I know for me, the answer was yes, so I had to change that. So now what I'm gonna do is apply that concealer to the back of a synthetic brush, and I wanna just place it not where I have the most amount of wrinkles, but just underneath. So for me, the majority of my wrinkles come just at that under part of my under eye. So I don't want to put the majority of the product where the wrinkles are. I want to place that product just underneath where those wrinkles are. And then I will go back to that brush where we have the setting spray, moisten it again, and just use that brush to really press in that concealer and press it up where the majority of my wrinkles are. Now you'll notice that I use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, which is maybe $9. It's a drugstore concealer. I'm using a drugstore setting spray. I used a drugstore moisturizer, and those are the products that I actually use. The purpose of highlighting that is just to share with you that you don't have to have really expensive products to have this technique work. The one expensive item that I do use though is the powder to set this, and I have tried different powders that are at the drugstore price point, and I just haven't found one that I think works as well as the one that I'm going to share with you here in a second. I just noticed that there's some discoloration right there. I want to make sure I get that. Blend that into my shadow. And then once you've pressed that in, you can go back with your finger and really press into all of your wrinkles. You want to make sure that you've got that product inside of every wrinkle before you set it with powder. It's almost the same thought process as if you take a stain on a shirt and you put it in the dryer, it's gonna set. However you have your concealer set on your eye, once you put the powder on it, it's gonna set. So you wanna make sure that it is exactly how you want it before you apply your powder. And then since I've already applied my eyeshadow, I like to take just the tip of that brush with some concealer left on it and create that straight line so that my shadow looks very precise in the way that it ends, and then blend that out. Okay, then the last step is we take our powder with a tissue. Now you want to have a thin tissue that is not thick. So most people have 2-ply toilet paper. I just get it down to the 1-ply so that it's as thin as it can be, but still provides a good filter. Take your powder, and I love the Givenchy Prism Libra. This is in color 3. And then take whatever powdered brush you have. It doesn't have to be small, it doesn't have to be big, it's whatever you want. I just look for one that's tapered because the side of my eye is tapered. And you go in and get a little bit of powder, and I mean as little as possible. Tap off any excess, and then just apply that tissue right over where you want to apply the powder. What this tissue does is it acts as a filter to get even less powder, but still allows enough powder to set the look without adding extra dryness, which then equals crepiness to that under eye wrinkle area. And you just quickly do this on both sides. And you can see just the little bit of matte finish that that powder leaves without leaving your under eyes looking too dry, which is a common characteristic of powders. Powder blushes, powder bronzers, powder under the eyes, setting powders. Anytime you use powder on a more mature face, you'll get a more dry look to the face, and it can be crepey. And if you haven't exfoliated, the powder really grabs onto those areas of dry skin, which just gives an uneven look to the texture of your skin. So I've tried to eliminate as much powder use as possible, but to set concealer to your under eye area, a powder is your best bet. And you may be saying, well, gosh, Jody, you just use the smallest amount of powder. How can that really hold? Because you're using the powder in partnership with that setting spray. So the two together really work nicely, and the setting spray helps to melt almost that powder so that you don't have that dry look to your eyes where you have placed the powder. Well, now that my under eye area is set and it looks the way I want it to, I need to do something with these eyes. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of eyeshadow and finish doing my under eye makeup so that it doesn't look like my eyes are floating. I love the look of eyeshadow underneath my eyes when I have a heavier, bold eyeliner on top. It just gives a nice, soft combination look, I think. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Really easy to do your concealer this way. It's 4 simple steps, so we can review it together. Be sure to put me on your phone or your iPad or your TV, however you watch YouTube videos, when you do your makeup next, and I will be there to walk you through every step of the way. But we'll just go through it again real quick. Step number 1 is to make sure that you are hydrated and moisturized and hydrated, all the things. Then go in with your setting spray, moisten the area, go back in with your concealer and place it underneath, not on top of the wrinkle area. Go back with your setting spray and put that concealer exactly where you want it, pressing it in, acknowledging that we have wrinkles and pressing that product into those wrinkles. And the 4th and final step, a little bit of setting powder right on top of it all. And there you have it. It's all done, and you will love the way your under eye area looks, not only at the time of application, but for hours in your day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, let's do it together tomorrow when you do your makeup. Be sure to come back and see me then. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.